Hello and welcome to another episode of Boldy Going. It is I, Merlin, sometimes known as Joe in the mortal realm, but I've got
True.
the film fanatics here with me. I got Dan over there,
Hey.
Justin over here,
Eddie.
and today we're going to go back to the original series, and I believe we're going to talk about Tomorrow is Yesterday.
That's correct.
Indeed we are.
Which, I mean, I feel like if you think about it, you can have some idea what the plot's going to be like, but I'm curious, who wants to talk about this one?
I can go.
Want to talk about going back in time?
Sure.
Okay, go ahead.
So the Enterprise does just that. They go back in time to the 60s.
How
obviously,
convenient.
when the original series was on the air. And, yeah, basically they're trying to escape a black star and so sort of, thwart themselves down. And what happens is they're sort of discovered by the Air Force, and so they beam an Air Force pilot onto the Enterprise and have to make a decision whether or not to kill him, because now he's seen them and knows some things about the
Prime
future.
Directive.
Yep.
He keeps learning more and more.
Because does it really matter if they kill him or not? Because he doesn't matter.
He doesn't matter.
Ooh.
But then Spock and all his research does discover that his yet unborn son
snap.
is integral in getting us to Saturn, which seems a bit too new
Bold?
for well, yeah, like when Star Trek was on, we hadn't even gone to the moon yet, so
We're working on it.
That's a little brave.
Well, they were hoping,
I think
Search
realistically,
for bigger and better things.
We're still trying to get to Mars now.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
but we'll get to
realistically, we might.
Why not?
we
Why
might
not?
Saturn. Star Trek, we got to Saturn and beyond.
Great
so
great grandson may have
Yes.
been the one, but here it's the son.
A couple centuries in the future, why not?
they'll get there.
Anyway, I think it's a very interesting episode. We saw a little bit of time travel, I believe, with the Squire of Gothos episode.
A little bit.
A little bit.
Well-
It wasn't exactly established, but
It's more of a weird dimensional
yes.
thing.
So that may not be back in
Technically.
time per se, but this is clearly 1960s Earth. And I really enjoyed the sort of decision-making process that Kirk and Spock had. There's an interesting fight that takes place, which is one of the better ones, I would say. But no, I liked how they sort of rationalized everything. And my big problem with this episode, though, is the conclusion. First of all, I don't really like how they get back to their time.
Okay.
It's a little bit of a, I don't know, cop-out maybe, or it's just...
Deus
It's
Ex
just kind
Machina.
of dumb. Really is more to it. But
It's kind of dumb.
the wiping of the memory is very Men in Blackish, so I enjoyed that. Precursor to that. So no, there were definitely some interesting things about it. But what's funny is we've done in the last 2 or 3 weeks some of the most classic of the classic TOSs.
Yeah.
This certainly does not compare to that. But if we had seen this episode, in the first maybe 6 or 7, I'd be like, wow, this is really cool and interesting. I do think the time travel thing is a cool wrinkle, and certainly one that we've seen many times afterwards.
This is kind of the first one to do it.
But,
Yes.
and that's the thing. It's the first one to do it. Is it the best that they've done? Absolutely not.
No.
No.
But it does set a very interesting template that they do go back to on all the series, many of the movies,
Yeah.
et cetera, et cetera.
Staple.
A huge staple. So I liked it enough. I give it a B+.
All right. Justin, tell me what you think about it. It's an interesting episode, I think.
This is one of those where there's a fine line between theory and execution.
Okay.
And it's hard to say where this one actually falls, because you can clearly tell they're trying to go for the cerebral nature that Star Trek is known for, but they're also trying to do a blockbuster-y episode. And to be fair, they do succeed in this being a fun episode. It's a really, really fun episode. Is all the time travel stuff, shall we say, coherent?
No.
Not quite, but we've seen...
But you got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
We've seen far worse, especially in Trek later on.
That's
But-
true. Keep the sun thing. They
Yeah.
always use that. Yeah.
Yeah, which I don't
Yeah.
like. But
That's what they do.
I know.
I mean, it is interesting to see how they spin the Prime Directive this time. Not the first rodeo with that in TOS, but...
And not the last.
Oh, far from the last, but... No, I like what they do with it. I think the pacing in this episode is actually really good. Is the conclusion a little ridiculous? Yes.
Very.
But I think it does tie back nicely with the title in a slightly nice way. The action's surprisingly pretty good. And I think the way both the main cast as well as the new characters interact is really smart. They handle the material appropriately and wrestle with the ethical dilemmas that are underway. Well, yeah, this is an issue, but guess what? There's already a problem.
Yeah,
So-
they've already kind of messed up the
Yeah.
whole, some little wrinkles there with time. Like,
Hey, Takei helps out.
yeah,
He
yeah,
does,
Sulu
surprisingly.
gets a pretty cool little
Yeah,
action
this is
scene.
one of the biggest Sulu
Heavy-
episodes we've seen thus
Heavy
far.
Sulu.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one. That's
Which
true.
is good.
So, like I said, I don't think it fires on every cylinder, but I was thoroughly entertained for 40 minutes. This one gets a B+ for me.
Okay.
All right. Well, I'm actually in agreement with you guys. I think that this one is a good episode. I definitely think that it is a smart one, but they are trying to really amp up the budget for this one, and there's a lot of that classic stock footage.
Yeah, true.
That was glaringly
You're right,
obvious in the
you're
first
right.
5 minutes.
Forgot about that.
Glaringly obvious, but hey, that's pretty much all they could do back then, and they were really trying to give us something pretty cool, and I think for the time this would have blown some people's minds, so you got to give it some credit for that, and I do think it is well written. I think there's some good action there. I don't think it's on the same level as a lot of the best, that's true, but it's solid, it's entertaining, it's got the good balance of the original series. I'm going to give it with a B- with you guys as well.
Okay.
B+.
B+.
excuse me.
I was
Okay.
going to say.
Yeah, no, B+, because I think that I always kind of like that little twist there. I mean, I guess we've kind of discussed it already, but it's
Yeah.
like thinking, okay, well, the ethical dilemma of how important is anyone in the space of history, and you should never write anybody off because
Right.
you never really know.
Well, and you never know anything. You could do so many things, or your absence could affect
So many.
this person, and you have no idea.
And
even.
I think
Right.
that's a pretty cool idea,
Yeah.
and I think that's a good message certainly. And I kind of like that they didn't go the. I mean, I'm not saying that Trek never goes down the dark route, but I don't know if it would have made everybody very likable in this particular instance.
If they straight up murder him.
Unless there are certain episodes where you're supposed to, which
Yeah.
there is one in particular where you're supposed to.
But here's an innocent.
Yeah.
Well, we don't know everything he's done.
No, we don't. But I mean, all he's done to them is spot them.
That's true. Which
So-
take him out.
Yeah.
No. The Federation's
Oh,
not
yes,
evil.
yes.
Not that evil, but no, I like this episode. It's a good one. I think it's classic, but yeah, people don't typically talk about it very much.
No, I didn't know anything about it.
But yeah, it's the first time travel one. Kind of big staple for that. The run around the sun really fast gets you back in time.
Oh,
That
yes.
slingshot around the sun gag. I
Hey,
know, and they
that's-
use it over and over.
That's the thing that we used it once. We're
Yep.
keeping it.
And it seemed to work, so it seemed to solve the dilemma.
Yeah, and
Then the 70s Superman, but
hey, that's
Well, he
that's,
rotated
that's a
the
whole
entire.
nother.
Yeah,
That's-
that's a whole different
that's,
thing.
that's not how that works.
Yeah.
not quite, no.
Oh, that's a discussion for another time. But yeah, similar. Yeah, guys. Well, I'm glad you liked it. And that's going to be the Tomorrow's Yesterday episode. We're going to talk about Next Gen next time. Wrapping up that first season soon.
Yeah,
I
at
know.
some point.
Some point.
It's coming.
Hope so. But we'll get to some better episodes there. Just let us know what you think in the comments below. And I'm going to say goodbye. You guys say goodbye too.
Yep, see ya.
See you around.